Usai made a mess, keep up at the jet. I'm about to catch, I double the bed.
What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing today? It's your boy Trippy Go, and I have some unfortunate news. Today, while I was going into work, I happened to hit somebody's truck while driving. I was merging into the right lane, and it fucking sucked. So yeah, I'm gonna be fucked on my insurance. But luckily for you all, it reminded me of another fucking killer story. So let's get into it. And before I get into it, I got one thing I gotta ask you all to do. Subscribe, like, give me a comment. I need at least one more subscriber for today. That's my goal. For this video, I just want a single one of you all to subscribe. If you gotta get your dog, if you gotta get your cat, if you gotta get your fucking Betty Sue grandma that's fucking 6 feet into a grave to subscribe, I don't give a fuck. I just want one more subscriber. Anyways, let's get into it because I have a trippy ass story to tell you all. Now, it was 2019. You know, I was feeling pretty good, graduated a little while ago in my bum degenerate era. You know, didn't have no job, wasn't planning to have no job. My only goal was to get pussy, smoke weed, drink, and pretty much do whatever the fuck I wanted to do. Now, I just started dating a girl. And you know, it'd been going pretty good and shit. And I decided to drive up to her place. You know, I went over there, said, "Hey, what's up? How you doing, sweet cakes?" Whatever. I don't know what the fuck I even said. But the bitch was hungry. She wanted to have some munchies. She wanted to eat some Mexican. I said, "Okay, I'm not too hungry right now, but I'll take you out to Mexican. Eat me a couple little chips, and I'll order me some food to go," you know. And we start heading over there. And you know, it started dribbling down the snow and stuff. It was looking really pretty outside. And that's all I could think about was how beautiful today is. How great today is. So anyways, we eat our Mexican. We have a good time. I, munch on a couple chips. And I order me a big fucking fat fajita. I'm talking about it looked good. Anyways, I take her back home. We talk and shit, whatever. And later on that night, I'm telling her, "Hey, I gotta go back home." Now, my whole plan was to take my beautiful fajita and drive home, get a little bit of pot, smoke some in my vehicle, because I couldn't smoke inside. My grandparents lived there and shit. And I was just going to eat my Mexican food in my truck while watching the snow. You know, I thought that was a beautiful, wonderful idea. So what do? I bring my food, I put it in the truck, and I start driving home. Now, me and my ex, we lived a good little distance away. You see, we lived a good about 35, 40 minutes away from each other. So it was a bit of a stretch, a little bit of a drive. And it was late as fuck. It was probably about 12 at night by this time. I'm starting my way home and I'm leaving town when I noticed there was a fucking roadblock. Now, I was a little bit nervous, but I wasn't sweating too much. I thought maybe I would smell like pot because I was always smoking, but I wasn't high at the time. I didn't have no pot on me, so I figured, hey, the worst he can do is search my vehicle and nothing else. I mean, what else could he get me for? So I pulled on over there at the roadblock and stuff. Once it was my turn and shit, they checked me. I was all good in the hood. Now, one thing I made sure to do, because I wasn't wearing it before, was I put on my seatbelt. At that time, I did not like wearing my seatbelt at all. So, I made sure to strap myself in. That way I wouldn't get a ticket. Now, He sets me on free. He tells me I'm all good. He didn't even care about the smell inside of my truck. So I start driving back home. And I'm looking at this snow, and it's beautiful. And it is really starting to come down. I mean, it is really sticking to the roads and everything. It's been cold all week. I'm talking about below 20, probably in the teens, the whole entire week. And I'm driving there, and I'm about halfway home by this point. And I start going around a big curve. Now, what I wasn't expecting was a big layer of ice. I was only driving about 40, but the way the road was there was a big curve and two big hills. It was like the road was on top of a hill, just winding and winding. So anyways, I start taking that curve. Everything's going good at first. But then, when I'm trying to turn left, I was trying to turn left, my truck kept on going right. Now, that's a big fucking uh-oh. A big fucking uh-oh. I'm still trying to make it. I'm tapping on my brakes and shit. Now, by this time, I'm really trying to balance out my truck. And I've never had a fender bender, a wreck, or nothing. So I really didn't know what to expect from this. And there I went. I went over the hill, I tumbled, and I rolled a good 4 or 5 times in my beautiful 1998 Silverado. Oh, it was my baby. Anyways, though, while I'm rolling, I'm thinking nothing. Like, all I can see is like it's almost like I saw the light. I just seen a whole bunch of flashes. Fucking hit somebody's fence. Went straight through that bitch and landed upside down. Now, by this point, it was just pure adrenaline. My windows were busted, every single one of them. I remember just reaching, pulling off my seatbelt because I'm upside down at the time. And I feel trapped in because my whole passenger side of the vehicle has been smushed in. And my driver's side was smushed in a bit. So I felt really tight where I was at. I didn't feel scared. I didn't feel anything really. I just felt adrenaline. That's all I felt at the time. So, once I took off my seatbelt, I kind of fell down a little bit, caught myself, and I just crawled out of the truck, army style. Now, by this point, realization is starting to come on in. I notice my truck is fucked. I'm like, damn. But at the pure moment, I'm just thankful being alive. Now, I fell down to my knees, I thanked the big man, I was really thankful actually. I ain't even gonna try to play it off like I wasn't thankful. So anyways, while I'm walking, I see a house, and it's the person's house that owned the fence and shit. I said, yeah, I'm gonna knock on their door, asked them if I can come on in. I was gonna call my grandparents. I knocked on the door, knocked on it a good couple of times, and I could see through the window, because they had a little window right in the middle of their door. I could see an old couple there, and they was just looking at me. And I was like, what the fuck? Did they not hear me crash my truck? And by this point, I'm feeling dizzy. I'm feeling wobbly. And I remember I checked my head with my left hand, and just blood was all over on the palm of my hand. I was like, damn, I fucking cracked my shit. And my hand on my right side is feeling fucked up, feeling like shit is in there or something. Like every time I do this, I feel like pointy things just stabbing me on the inside. I'm like, man, what the fuck have I done to myself? So again, I'm knocking on the door. And they finally come over to me and they speak through the door. And the very first question them old fuckers had to say was, am I on drugs? Now, that was a very weird question to me at the moment. I definitely wasn't on drugs. And I guess now I could see why maybe they thought I was on drugs. Like, hey, this dude just crashed. He's all wobbly and stuff. But at the same time, your boy just flipped 4 or 5 times right then. His whole fucking head is bloody and everything. Like, excuse me if I'm not speaking perfect. I already got a hard time speaking as it is. So, anyways, I asked them at least if they'll just call my fucking grandparents, and I give them the number. And what do? They don't call my grandparents. Them old fucking bastards called the cops on me, saying that I was high and that I crashed my truck into their fence. They wasn't happy that I survived. Hell no. Them old fuckers thought I was high and they was salty as shit. They was like 2 salty old crackers under a couch and mad about me breaking their fence. They swore I was on meth or something. And anyways, the cops come, the ambulance comes, cause they tell them, I crashed my shit through a fence and stuff. And the moment the ambulance and the cops come, what do them old fuckers do? They open up the door and they let me on in. Like, fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. I've been out in this cold for 20 minutes waiting for something to happen. So anyways, ambulance comes. They're talking to me, and at first I didn't want to go to the hospital. I really didn't think nothing much was wrong with me. I didn't care that my head was bleeding. That's what they cared about. I mostly cared at the time being that my fucking Mexican food was fucked up. Anyways, I agreed to go to the hospital. And they put me in the ambulance, which was a really weird feeling. Cause I've never been in the back of an ambulance. It was actually pretty cool. Like, they put me down on the cot or whatever, like I was laying there. They had me a little bit strapped in, I think. I don't remember exactly. And they were asking me questions like, how hard did you hit your head? Are you in pain anywhere? Just medical questions. They didn't care about if I was high or if I was anything like that. They didn't give one fuck about that. Which I wasn't. I was sober. Truly to God, I was sober. And anyways, I go into the hospital. They put me in there. My grandparents and everybody got called and shit. And the nurse came to check me out. And she asked how I was feeling and stuff. And, just asked me, try and make a little bit of small talk. Try and make me feel a little more comfortable in the setting I was in at the moment. And the only thing I could talk about was about how my Mexican food was messed up, and I ordered a beautiful fajita. And my best friend Miguel over at the Mexican restaurant packed that bitch fat. I mean, that fajita was fat. It had chicken and steak in it. And she's laughing her ass off. She is having the time of her life talking to this fucking retard who just crashed his shit. And the only thing he cares about is his Mexican food. Well, anyways, the cops came. They asked me, hey, how fast were you going? Were you wearing your seatbelt? Now they're basically trying to see what all happened. And I told them straight up what happened. Hey, I slid on ice. I told them I was driving 35. I knew I was driving 40 something, but I didn't want to say. I didn't want to say I was going 5 or 10 over the speed limit, because it was a 35 speed limit. I was driving 40 or 45. And anyways, everything like that went smoothed over and shit like that. Now, my grandparents came. You know, my mama, bless her heart, she was calm and sweet. She asked how I was feeling and stuff. My papa, you know, told me that type of shit happens at times and stuff like that. So anyways, the next day, I go back home. They wanted me to stay the night there because I had a concussion is what I had. Like, they wanted to monitor me and shit like that. And also, I had glass. So speaking of the prickly things that were in my hands, I had glass inside my hands and they had to go and pull that shit out. So, anyways, I go back home the next day. My truck's already back at home. My papa got it towed and shit. My papa's got pretty much anything you can imagine when it comes to vehicle wise. Like, he can pull you out, he can tow your truck, like whatever. And I check on my truck. Oh, it's a misery. My truck is destroyed. My beautiful 1998 Silverado literally looks like a piece of scrap metal. My tail, like my bed, was all smushed in like this. Now, instead of a long bed, it looks like a short bed. My passenger side is flattened down all the way on the inside. And the only area that has a little bit of regular shape to it is my side. So, you know, take it what you want. I got to see another day. I was blessed. It wasn't my time to go at that time. And I hope y'all get to live a long, beautiful life as well. Anyways, though, this is going to be the end of my story. You know, a little bit anticlimactic, but hey, I just wanted to tell the story. And again, if y'all want to, which I would hope y'all do, subscribe, like, give me a comment, do something. Anyways, y'all, I hope y'all have a very blessed day. Hope y'all have a very safe time driving on the roads today. And peace.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.